to the Cinementalists. Noun, plural. Definition, those whose love for movies runs so deep, they can't help but do a podcast about them. Hosted by Colton Robertson and Joseph George. Hello, everybody, and welcome in to the Cinementalists. Today is part 2 of our top 100 films of the 2020s. It is the 80s this week, 80 through 89. We're going to work our way from the bottom up, 89 to 80. Earlier today, we released our episode part 1, which was 90 through 100. You ought to go check that out. If you're starting here, I won't call you a buffoon, but I will say it is an act of buffoonery. You ought to be there first and then come here and then listen to the next ones, and sequential. There's an order to these things. You can do whatever you want, as long as you're listening and I'm down, but maybe you're just getting a taste. Maybe you're just getting a little flavor. I don't know. I don't know what your deal is. I don't know what you freak. No, I'm just kidding. I'm Colton Robertson. I'm joined by Joseph George. What's up, homie?
Oh, what up, what up? Always a pleasure to be here.
Oh, and it's always a pleasure to have you. I'm currently sipping on my afternoon coffee, which is why I might seem like I'm buzzing a bit.
No buffoonery here. No, this is the start of, well, a little bit of buffoonery, honestly.
Some buffoonery. Buffoonery.
It always got to have a little bit. Can't let it all go.
A healthy dose of buffoonery is good, Too much buffoonery, you become a buffoon. You don't want to become the buffoon. You want to act with buffoonery.
In moderation. Everything good in moderation. I think still, there's these 80s movies for me are a little buffoonery-ish still. I still haven't quite hit the league that I quite want to call like my movies for this year. But starting to get at least out of the comic book vein finally for me here a little bit.
Love that.
And,
Love that.
So
I asked you going into part 1 if you felt like you'd done the 20s justice, and you did your little preface and everything. I want to ask you. I kind of want to ask one movie every single part here, if you can off the top of your head. What's a major blind spot from the 20s that you just haven't gotten around to that you wish you had?
The 20s. Let's see. Well, I guess I don't know why. Beau is Afraid. I don't know why Walking Phoenix is just like, I feel like I need to watch everything from him. It was mainly like the marketing of Joker, and I didn't really want to watch that. So I feel like I wanted to watch something else. But I feel, let's see, that doesn't feel quite good. Ooh, well, I guess the movie that I was about to watch at the very end was The Boy and the Heron. And I just, it was very, very close. I even turned it on, watched the first 10 minutes or so, and then it was a little too late in the night. So I guess that one I really did want to get to, and I tried, but the eyes were a bit too heavy. But
it happens, man. It happens. Yeah, I'm in a similar boat with a few of mine. A lot of the ones that I haven't gotten a chance to see are simply because I have not had the means to. But the one that I have had the means to and I missed out on, and now I'm just waiting here until it hits video on demand or streaming, is Luca Guadagnino's Queer.
Yeah.
It ended up showing in the theater that's about 45 minutes away for 1 week, and I thought I would get another week. I thought I'd get another week, and I didn't get another week, and that was that. I really wanted to catch Queer in the cinema, and unfortunately I missed it. But yeah, in the coming parts, I'll be sure to make mention of a few more that I just haven't had the chance to see. But Queer is definitely big blind spot right now that I wish I'd gotten a chance to actually indulge in. But
yeah, I got a lot to
go
mention,
ahead and,
I guess, in the future. I'm looking at just my watch list, and I just chose the 20s as the decade. And there's a lot that is sad that I definitely won't be able to say. But I think you might mention a few of them, so that might balance it out. But yeah.
Hell yeah. Beau is Afraid, actually, funny that you mentioned that. It barely missed my 100. It was actually the one that exited my top 100 after my edition last night.
I feel like I had to mention it. I don't know why. I was like,
there it is. There's the connection.
But okay.
Yeah, there's the connection right there. It's right there. But let's go ahead and dig on in to our part 2, the 80s. If you want to take us in with your 89th favorite film of the 2020s. If you can assign a number to it like that so easily, what is the 89th favorite?
I think right when I watched it, right when the credits rolled, I said, "Oh, this is by far my 89th favorite movie of the year."
It's singular in that regard. Like I watched it and I was like, "This has got to be 89th."
It has to be. It was cemented from day one. And it's the only comic book movie in this stretch, in this episode. And it's Black Adam. And just I thought, kind of this is the top of kind of the very bottom of the barrel comic book movie tier. So at least it's a little bit better than The Flash and Quantumania, Deadpool, Wolverine. I think it had some cool moments, and the history was kind of cool of just I thought the character was just kind of cool. And then kind of like a similar situation with Shazam of like it just kind of flopping and Dwayne not wanting to believe that it's flopping.
Oh my God.
But I don't know. I still had a kind of an enjoyable somewhat experience while I was watching.
I had a real fun time when I went and saw Black Adam it was actually, I can't remember what the deal was, but I think Emily had like a baby shower or something out in St. Louis.
Okay.
Her sister lives in Columbia, so I drove her halfway. They were going to go out there together, come back. I just hung out in Columbia for a couple hours. I've got friends down there, all that good stuff. So I'll just kick it there for a while. They go, come back. That's that. I ended up going and seeing Black Adam at a Columbia movie theater just on a random fucking November day. And I remember being like, oh, you know what? No, not great, but not awful. Not as genuinely terrible as I expected it to be. I had a great time. It's not in my top 100, but I will give Jaume Collet-Serra, the director, a little. I said that more French than it probably is, but I'll give him a little credit for his most recent movie, Carry On. He did Carry On, the new Netflix Die Hard sort of riff. It's a lot of fun. I like that one more than Black Adam, so maybe you ought to go ahead and give that a swing. Also not in my top 100, but worth a mention. But yeah, all right, Black Adam to kick off part 2
the only
of the top 100 here.
So I promise no more.
Love that.
Episode.
I don't have any in this episode either. I do have some campy stuff, some stuff that's a little out there. But I'm gonna start it. With Elvis.
Ooh.
Directed by Baz Luhrmann, starring Austin Butler. Caught this in the theaters 4th of July, 2022. It was a holiday. You could hear the fireworks popping outside. It's one of my more just like specific theater experiences, that you just remember for those reasons. Like I remember hearing pops and bangs and booms while I was in the theater, and that was really cool. Didn't disturb me at all either. Like I knew what I was getting into. I was going to a movie on 4th of July. Shit happens.
That would be kind of eerie. Yeah, a little bit. That's
there's a little bit of an eerie thing because it's like, well, I hope that's a firework, that sort of thing.
That's a horror movie waiting to happen.
Firework.
Yeah. Oh my God.
Yeah, no shit. No. That's actually a great idea. Let's make it happen.
But
it's sort of like a Die Hard scenario where they get locked into a movie theater. Why has nobody done this?
I in like 4th of July to cover up the noises. Like So and who's really looking like too deeply in a movie theater? Like no one really goes to a movie theater the 4th of July. It's already kind of eerie and creepy.
There'd have to be something. There'd have to be some sort of backdrop with like the people who own the movie theater. Like they're connected in some fucked up way, So like they've got a
every
stash
4th of July. Yes, they just grab a new set of people. It's just people go missing every year, and it's like, well, it had to have just been the 4th of July. I don't know. It's a crazy day.
The fireworks went boom. People die.
But we'll figure it out later. We'll squash the.
We'll figure it out
on this one.
We'll figure it. We'll crunch the numbers. But yeah, my 89's Elvis. I think that this movie is a lot of fun. I think that Austin Butler had obviously the breakthrough performance of his career here. It was bizarre watching a guy that I've known on screen since I was 7 be in a movie theater when I was like 15 years later. It's really, really cool. I remember watching him on Zoe 101 when I was coming up, and now I'm watching him as Elvis Presley being directed by Baz Luhrmann. Like that's really cool stuff, and it has everything to do with us. There's a lot of deliveries that he has that I'll just never forget. So yeah, he did a good job. The movie does a little bit I mean, it does a really good job of making you appreciate Elvis a little bit, and
Yeah.
Priscilla does a lot to make sure that you don't
Not.
anymore.
Yeah.
Um,
Uh,
and I'll get to that one. I'll get to that one eventually.
okay.
That won't be this episode, but Priscilla is on my list. So just spoilers there. I do like Priscilla more than I like Elvis.
Mm-hmm.
But it's a
Yeah.
damn good movie, man. It takes a big swing. Baz Luhrmann is a freak of a director. The dude's just got a bizarre taste, and I love it. I love it.
Yeah, I knew Austin Butler at 9 through Aliens in the Attic. He was just the
Yes.
cool guy, that brought a paintball gun. It was just, I don't know, he was just the cool guy. I
It's a
don't know, to look
classic.
up
He was
to.
the cool older
Um,
brother. Yeah.
Mm-hmm. Yep. And that, I don't know, ever since then. Yeah. And crazy. I did watch this. It was on vacation though, so I never logged it ever. So it never actually even began to be on the list, but it definitely would have. Now that I'm thinking, yeah. So I wonder how many times that'll happen of a movie that I just actually saw but forgot to log, and then it never got on the list. But
Well, and if it makes you feel any better, I know that you're not too keenly attached to the bottom half of your list here.
mm-hmm.
You might be able to just pluck one if you feel comfortable.
Oh, I
doing
totally
so.
could. Oh, yeah, it's like there's no shame in a lot of these. Like, and even I mean, I wish I could have done it in the '90s and in this episode.
Yeah, that would have
but,
been optimal. Yeah,
but still, I mean, yeah, there's still some that could be plucked. I mean, I don't know. I guess they do get a little bit better. It's and I have
no, that's
some-
where I'm like, I want to watch a '20s movie tonight that I haven't seen, but I'm like, oh no, I don't think I'm able to pluck anything. I don't think
Yeah.
I'm able to do that. I like. But that's the thing is, if I love the movie that much, would I be remiss in not including it, or would I have to just give it a
Ooh.
special shout out on the side, like, "Ooh, I also love this movie." Maybe that's their route to go: is not include it, but go, "This would have been here. I didn't watch it until now."
yeah.
Maybe that's the
Yeah.
way to go.
It's a good option.
Save it.
Just so you don't
save
feel
it for the
pressured.
episode it would be in, and kind of be
Ooh,
like, and
there you
also,
go.
by the way, maybe I'm gonna do that. Talk about as many movies as you can. Fuck it.
There you go. Yeah.
But yeah, 89 Elvis.
Okay. Let's see. Moving on to 88 here. For me, this is I think this was maybe straight to Netflix. I'm not sure. But Ryan Reynolds, Zoe Saldana, The Adam Project was this one. I
It was
think
straight to Netflix.
yeah, a streaming movie, and it's about as good as a Ryan Reynolds movie can get. But I thought the story was pretty interesting. I know it was just kind of cool just to see any time travel kind of loop that's kind of going on and seeing meeting yourself from the future. And then I don't know, Zoe Saldana coming in. I guess Mark Ruffalo's in there too. I see his name on the cast. I don't remember him in there of what he did, but I guess he was there. But no,
He was around.
Mm-hmm. I remember at least Zoe Saldana and Ryan Reynolds kind of having a pretty good like tension at first, and then they found, I don't know, they worked together, and it just, I don't know, it was kind of, I don't really remember how the movie ended even, but it was more of just it's at least better than Black Adam. It's at least better than the comic book movies that I don't know, I at least enjoyed it.
You prefer
much
that
more.
Sean Levy? You prefer that Sean Levy film to the Deadpool and Wolverine Sean Levy
Oh
film?
my God, is it? Wow. Yeah, that's
They've got a close working relationship, Sean Levy and Ryan Reynolds, because he also did Free Guy.
wow. Yeah, he loves
so just
making. Okay.
He just loves making shit ass movies with his buddy.
Hey, they're getting a check though, I guess. Maybe that's just the
They're
way to
making
do
some
it.
fucking money, man.
Yeah, but I don't know. I'd rather
For some
be
reason,
remembered-
Ryan Reynolds has convinced everybody that he's good at what he does. It
Yeah, I
befuddles
mean,
me.
he just does his thing every time.
Mm-hmm.
It's every time. Kind of maybe nice following Black Adam. Kind of a Dwayne the Rock Johnson.
Yeah,
but
similar thing.
in just in the comedy scene instead.
Yeah,
But
yeah, no, that's apt.
Mhm.
Adam Project. I love me some Zoe Saldana though. She is
Yeah.
really good. One of your another Netflix original that she's in right now is Amelia Perez, which I have my issues with. It's not in my top 100. I ended up giving it like a 2.5 on Letterboxd when I first logged it. Because it's really muddy. There's just a lot going on there. But I am really glad I did watch it. It's not, and I'm not one to like, if I regret watching a movie, it's the fucking worst thing you've ever seen in your life. You know what I'm saying? Like
Yeah.
it's I regret watching one movie. Can you guess what that movie is?
Well, you haven't seen Morbius. Or else it
Similar
would have
vein.
Been that.
Similar vein.
Madam Web.
No, I
Um,
actually, Madam Web's not even my least favorite comic book movie of this year.
um, if you could take it back. I don't know. I'm blanking. I'm blanking on other
Ghost
Rebel.
Rider 2 Spirit of Vengeance.
I
Fucking
remember. Oh
hell. I
no.
wish for the
Oh
life of me
no.
I never watched that film. But yeah, no, so like Amelia Perez, 100% worth your time, whether you feel positively or negatively about it. I think that it puts out a lot of interesting ideas, and it's interestingly made. It's good looking and all that stuff. There's just there's a little bit of mud in the water for me in terms of the execution. But yeah,
Let's
all
see.
right. Zoe Saldana and Adam Project there.
Mm-hmm.
My 88 is a film called Kill.
Hmm.
It's directed by Nikhil Nagesh Bhatt. This is an Indian action flick. It has the fucking juice.
Mm.
This movie is electric. I saw it in theaters in a double feature with Kinds of Kindness. I actually went. This was another. Emily was out of town for the weekend, and I spent 2 days in the movie theater. I saw 4 movies that weekend. Um,
Okay. Yeah. Yeah.
yeah, and Kill was one of them. Came on the
Mm.
back end of Kinds of Kindness. And I really, really just, it was fucking electric, dude. There's some gnarly fucking kills. He suffocates a dude with a fire hydrant by putting the
Whoa.
nozzle in his mouth and letting it fucking fly. Um, like that's one of the kills in this movie, and it's
Damn.
fucking sick.
I was like,
And
huh?
so the
Fire
premise
hydrant at
is that
first. Mm-hmm.
this dude's on a train home. He's gonna marry this girl, but she's promised to another, but they have
Okay.
this forbidden love thing going on.
Yup.
And then there's like this group of criminals who are like train robbers, and they're trying to uh, rob the train, get everybody's goods that are on it. Turns out this
Mm-hmm.
lady's dad is really, really important. And they realize he's really important. They recognize him and they start to hold him hostage, and they hold his family hostage. So they have to keep her, like, they have to try to keep her hidden and stuff. And this dude, ultimately, he has to go on a vengeful path, and he lets
Mm-hmm.
them have it. It's fucking awesome. And yeah, so Kill, I think that it might be I would need to back this up with some facts. But as far as a through and through action film is concerned,
Mm-hmm.
might be my favorite action film of 2024. It's got a
Ooh.
2023 release date technically, but
Mm-hmm.
that shit was fucking electric. Furiosa, never mind. It's
Mm-hmm.
close. It's almost my favorite action film of the
Wow.
year. Monkey Man. It's almost top two. Um, it's almost top two for my
Mm-hmm.
favorite action films of the year, but it's definitely top three. So Kill got
Okay.
that at 88.
Yeah. Okay. I like. I'm going. I guess kind of. It can't be here. This one's a in the Harry Potter universe. It just was the new Fantastic Beasts movie that came out in
Hmm.
2022. The Secrets of Dumbledore. Kind of with our boy Jude Law right now, holding it down in
Oh,
Skeleton
that's
Crew.
right. That's right. Yeah.
Uh-huh. Mads Mikkelsen was the antagonist here. I guess with kind of Ezra Miller as well. They were kind of both antagonists, but Mads
I
Mikkelsen, I don't
forgot
know.
they were in that movie. Yeah, I forgot they
Mm-hmm.
were in that.
Yeah,
I
kind of.
never checked out the Fantastic Beast films. You know, I only ever watched the Harry Potter movies once.
Mm-hmm.
Um, and frankly, you know, there's a draw to them that I think is really, really interesting. You know, obviously I'm very, very staunchly anti J.K. Rowling, but
Mm-hmm.
there's a lot of stuff that went into the making of those films that, you know, it's not her. You know, I like Daniel
Yep.
Radcliffe a lot. I'm a fan of Emma Watson. It's I've had to kind of justify in my mind if I ever do go back, and I do want to go back and watch those movies.
Mm-hmm.
The Fantastic Beast stuff though, that's tough. I don't know that I'll ever breach that.
I think it could be more intriguing for you. Like the at least for me, like the main character, all he cares about is like saving as many creatures and not having them die, and having like
Hmm.
this kind of infinite room for just creatures, and he tries to save as many as he can, and then he just kind of falls into adventures along the way into the important
That's
things
sick.
in the Harry
Okay,
Potter world,
maybe maybe I do need to check
Um,
out some
but
Fantastic
yeah, I don't
Beasts.
know. Eddie
Um,
Redmayne is
yeah,
the
Eddie
main dude.
Redmayne's the main guy. That's one of
Uh,
the reasons that I'm not a huge Eddie Redmayne guy.
ah,
Um,
okay. Yeah,
Not for
that's all
any
I.
personal reasons. I don't know anything about him.
Yeah.
I've just watched him in a few movies, and I don't know. I don't know how to say what I think about him, because
Mm-hmm.
there's literally no tangible reason for why I don't like him. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
It's kind of like Joey King. Are you familiar with the actress Joey King?
Joey King.
You'll
Maybe not by
recognize her when you look her
name.
up.
Let's see. Oh, okay. Okay.
It's
Okay.
like
Yeah.
that. I don't like
Yeah.
Joey King. I can't really give you a reason why I don't like Joey King. It's just that, like, watching her act, I don't like the way I feel when I'm watching. And the same thing goes for Eddie Redmayne. He's only ever been good for me in one thing, and that was Les Miserables. And even
Oh, I didn't
then,
know he was in that.
he's on an ensemble that I feel like is really carrying him.
Mm.
But
Yeah.
regardless, I don't want to put too much on Eddie Redmayne here.
All I've ever known him as is good old Newt Scamander is who he is over here in the Harry Potter
yeah.
world. But yeah, that's it. So I don't know, kind of they are very campy still, and definitely I would say not as good as the Harry Potter movies though. So it's like it's kind of a weird like they're cooler in a certain way. They feel a lot more lighthearted and not as I don't know, super into the I don't know. The Harry Potter movies are kind of dark. Like every time I kind
Yeah,
of
they
visit
can
the,
get
like
there.
the
Yeah,
beginning
the
ones
later
are-
ones
yeah.
definitely.
Yeah, I just don't. I don't know. They went dark when I guess everyone just got older. They weren't kids anymore, and they just had to get a little
Right.
more serious. But yeah, the beginning ones are all right. But yeah, no, the Fantastic Beasts. It's why it's down here. You know, it's right above the shitty comic book group. So, but yeah,
I dig it. My 87 is a film called Gaza Mon Amour. Gaza My Love, if you want to translate that.
mm-hmm.
Now this is a really simple movie, and it's super compelling. It's a love story between two people who live in occupied Gaza. The struggles they face in everyday life and how they deal with those struggles, they get in the way of their ever connecting with one another. And then them getting together is like a revolutionary act in and of itself. Like it's you know, the very existence of them in the face of the occupation by the IOF and them being there for each other in what is ostensibly a war zone, locked in with one another. It's lovely, you know, like their affection for each other is in and of itself revolutionary, and I think that's a really, really cool message to send. Especially considering that most of our understanding of Palestinian existence as people in the Western world, we mostly associate it with suffering. You know, like constantly under bombardment, starving, all these terrible things that are being inflicted upon them. So movies like this remind you that they are also, you know, they weren't put on this earth to suffer, you know, like they are normal fucking people who want to love and want to live, you know, like they're not just an object for someone to dominate, or they're not just an object for us to do nothing but pity, you know what I'm saying? Like, they're worthy of our respect, and they're worthy of the humanity they deserve to be treated with. And I think that this movie reminds us that they are people.
Wow.
Just like anywhere in the world, like you go anywhere in the world, I feel like you're reminded, holy shit, they live just like me. You know, it's cool. I love this movie.
Wow. Yeah, like, I don't know. That's a nice perspective. I guess I always knew that there were people in there, but just
Right. Yeah.
but
You know,
you're
like
right.
it's never in question, especially if you are an empathetic person who's not racist. You know for a fact that people all over the world are humans, and they are, but like,
it is the suffering
when
that
they
is
are
under
so
the
public,
limelight.
when they are so publicly, and it's on my Twitter timeline. Every other video I'm seeing the bombardment of this civilization. You know, it becomes to the Western world their identity, and it's just not fair to not judge them, but solely understand them through their suffering. But we should also try to understand people through their happiness too, and I think that this movie reminds us of that.
I like that. Very human, or very like the human spirit kind of
It's good, man. It's good. It's a beautiful movie. So if you can, Gaza Mon Amour, it's very worth your time.
It's on the watch list. That was a quick one. A quick one to, I don't know, feel like that one is almost like I don't know, nice for me to get that perspective and just a refresh. And I guess I don't know, a little bit ago. I guess now after 4 years of what's been going on, I don't know how much is left over there, sadly. But
Right.
yeah, but okay, wow, I like the message though. I am flipping the bill completely.
Right.
And
My
it
next
is,
one
yeah,
will
it's
too.
yeah, not at all serious or anything of the vein. It is about a doll, a toy, that
Mm.
becomes awake, and then kind of a
Yeah.
Chucky-esque, Megan is
Yeah.
this one with the three, instead of the E.
Yeah. 3 and
But
7E. Yeah.
yeah,
That's what makes it
2022.
sci-fi.
And it's it kind of was. I thought it was just gonna be kind of like a Chucky kind of remake and just have a creepy doll, but they did more with like kind of AI waking up and like and just having like this was in this world. It was just coincidence that a toy maker was the first to have like a sentient AI, and like they just
Right.
happened to be like, yeah, let's just try to put it in a toy for kids and they'll have a forever
Yeah.
friend. And then luckily it was only one prototype, and it's just this one doll and they're not all over. But yeah, I don't know, just kind of this was like 2022, kind of just like the hype of AI. I think it just got it's like getting
Mm.
just it was just everywhere. It's the biggest thing, and I don't know, kind of freaky, and I was obsessed with it, and so it was just kind of a perfect timing for the movie when it
Perfect
came out.
storm. Yeah.
But yeah, looking back on it, I can't really love it a whole too much. There's not too much to say about it, other than the concept of it was pretty cool, and just there was a like a mother and daughter human, people in there that like the human interactions were really good, for a little bit of it to make the horror part stand out a lot more. You didn't want these
Right.
people to go and all that, but yeah, I don't know, it was just okay. But yeah, good old Megan or
Love
Mithrigan,
it. Love
yeah,
it.
I don't know, but
Mithrigan.
mm-hmm.
Mithrigan. Yeah, I never got around to that one either. I've heard good things though. But I've got a weirdly similar vein in terms of the whole AI and
Mm,
waking up and all that good stuff.
mm-hmm.
My 86 is a movie called After Yang, which we have talked about
Ooh,
multiple times.
mm-hmm.
Directed by Kogo Nada. Did a couple episodes of The Acolyte. He actually did the flashback episodes of The Acolyte.
Mm-hmm.
This also has Jodie Turner-Smith in it, who we know as Mother Anasea from The Acolyte, and Colin Farrell and Haley Lou Richardson,
Mm-hmm.
and just a great cast here. But yeah, the premise is that their android Yang,
Mm-hmm.
who they got, it's Jodie Turner-Smith and Colin Farrell have an adoptive daughter, um, and they want her to feel more connected to her culture, so they get this android Yang to help her connect with her roots, sort of make her feel like she's not growing up as an outsider,
Mm-hmm.
and they live with it. They live with the android for many years, and then the android malfunctions and
Mm.
to them dies. It's
Mhm.
kind of reckoning with your connection to an artificial entity. How artificial was he? Was anything real? Did he
Mm.
love me? Did I love him? And it's just kind of reckoning with those questions more than anything, because it's more an analyzation of their mourning him than it
Mm.
is like an analyzation of him while he's alive. Like they remember him, and through their memories, we get to see sort of how he
Mm.
existed. But you're sort of lent to make your own conclusions. Did he wake up? Did he not?
Ah.
Was he alive essentially?
Mhm.
And I think it's a really really good movie, really moving. I only ever watched it once, and it was a couple. I think it was July 2023. So I do need
Mm.
to get back around to it real bad, and I want to. I just haven't had a chance. It's a beautiful film though, gorgeous to look at. Kogo Nada is a great director, and this was, I mean, beautiful movie. So After Yang gets my
Mhm.
highest recommendation.
I like that. Yeah, even the fact that they're mourning an artificial human,
Mm-hmm.
thing in the first place. That it's like, what do we really need, for to like to have those feelings for something like a pet,
Right.
like an animal. It's there, like even if it's a fish or like I don't know. It's crazy. It's just like anything
Yeah.
that's just conscious. I don't know. Maybe that is it.
Love Tars.
Love,
Love.
yep, tar. It all comes back to tars. it
Tars.
in
Love
love.
Tars.
But okay, yeah, I
Big
like that.
Tars.
That's that one, Big Blinds. I don't know. That one sounds right up my
Wowza, it's a
alley for
woozy.
sure. Yeah, I'm gonna.
Oh
I
yeah, you
definitely check that
you
one.
would love
Mm-hmm.
After Yang. Like whenever you get a chance to, we oughta watch that.
Mm-hmm.
Because I think you'd appreciate that on a even a higher level than I do. But
Okay.
yeah, that's my 86.
All right, moving on to 85 here. Kind of a little bit AI, maybe global government wake. I don't know what it's never explained. I think this one was another straight to Netflix here. It is Leave the World Behind with Ethan
Oh
Hawke and Julia
yeah.
Roberts. Kind of like a little horror kind of thriller and just very mysterious. You've really no clue as to what's going on. The whole world kind of goes into this freak out mode. They think that the world's at war, kind of, and they just hear these weird noises that are super loud and people just start dying randomly and
Mm-hmm.
animals are acting weird and then all Teslas are all blocking the road and they have these papers falling from the sky saying this country's responsible and then in another place of the
Right.
US it's like this country's responsible. So I mean it's never
Stoking civil
yeah.
war. Yeah.
Just kind of going crazy mode, but yeah, I don't know. It was just kind of slow. Like you really just kind of sat with this family in an
Mm-hmm.
Airbnb for a
Mahershala
while, and
Ali rocks too.
yes,
By the
that was
way.
cool. That was a really good part of the movie, and then just like the record room. That's where I don't know. I remember this most. I want this room. It's a room that I
That room is
want.
gorgeous.
It's so many record. Like there's the collection was insane. The room just seemed like the perfect place to like dance if you want or chill if you want. It was I don't know I love the whole vibe of it all. But no,
Yeah.
the
Yeah.
the movie too. I don't know. It was pretty cool. It like definitely had its eerie or thriller moments. It gets your heart going a little bit, but still
Oh
overall a
yeah.
little slow for my liking. I think
No,
for
yeah.
that
Oh,
kind
and
of
I'm
movie.
glad you brought this one up because it's not in my top 100.
Mm-hmm.
But actually, I think it was like the day after Christmas. Tavares hit me up. For those who
Mm.
don't know, the co-founder of our original podcast, the Penny Bloom podcast,
Mm-hmm.
Tavares is the Penny. Tavares Pennington of the Penny Bloom. Uh, he hit me up and was like, "Yo, have you seen Leave the World Behind?" And I
Mm.
was like, "Yeah." He said he just did today, and holy shit. He said he hasn't been on a ride like that for a long time. I was like, good
Mm.
to hear, man. I love whenever a movie that doesn't really connect with me connects with other people that
Mm-hmm.
whose taste I really appreciate. You know, like
Mm-hmm.
because it was never that I didn't think the movie was good or anything. It just didn't. There were people online talking about how it was like one of the better thrillers in a
Yeah.
long time and everything, and I just didn't get that from it, and so
Mm-hmm.
Tavares has incredible taste, which is why I love whenever we don't exactly see eye to eye on how good a thing is. You know, it
Mm-hmm.
just reminds me that I'm not. We all have different experiences and everything. So yeah, Leave the World Behind.
Mm-hmm.
I've been tempted to give it a revisit just because I've been hearing a little bit about it more lately, and I remember it being a compelling viewing. You know, like it was
Mm-hmm.
it a little bit like Civil War. I'm sure
Yeah.
you'll get to that eventually.
Oh
I'll
yeah.
get to that eventually.
Oh yeah.
I also have it, so you know, there's a similar feeling I think in that movie as in Civil War, just like the creeping dread of like, ah man, this is obviously not real, but you know that sort of feeling.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, like it in a very close reality. It's not too far off.
Might not be
From
far off from that. Yeah, no, yeah, it's that's pretty spot on.
Like, why are we
Oh, I
making
don't
these
think I have
movies?
Civil War.
I don't know.
Interesting.
Uh-oh. Well, I got it. It will
Yeah,
be there.
like it'll come up. I was like, I know it'll come up. But yeah,
Mhm.
it's. I don't know how I feel about not having Civil War. I don't know that I would put it above any of the ones I've listed, but oh well.
Mhm.
There's just a lot of good movies, guys. There's a ton of good
Mhm.
movies. Some things are going to get left off. For example, my 85. Maybe another hot take. I might have
Mhm.
one of these an episode where it's like, whoa, that low,
Mhm.
or later on that high. But I don't know. 85 is where I have Barbie, directed by Greta Gerwig.
Okay.
I love this movie. I think it is extremely compelling. I think it's extremely cute. I think it's super
Mhm.
fun. Margot Robbie is a treasure. Greta Gerwig is an incredible director, and I can't wait for everything she has left to do. She's got plenty left to do, so I'm so very
Mm-hmm.
excited. I'm a big fan of Ryan Gosling, of course, and he does a great job as Ken. There's just, I'm not going to tell you anything you haven't heard about this movie. It's I get why it was as massive and as beloved as it was,
Yeah, I mean, it was just a cultural moment. I think it was just kind of it was an
The
experience.
Barbenheimer.
Yeah, that everyone just kind of was in, and it was just like the rush back to the theater. It felt good. It was like everyone wanted.
Oh,
to be
dude,
in
it
the
felt
theater.
like it felt momentous. Yeah, I loved the theater experience. I'll never forget the one fucking dude in my screening who was just so tone deaf. It was hysterical. Like America Ferrera finishes the main
Mm-hmm.
the main monologue that got her an Oscar nomination. Which, but she does a really good job in that scene. Don't get me wrong, and the monologue's great. But she gets done talking about the fundamental woman experience and all this stuff, and a dude in my audience, in the silence that follows, went, "Yeah, pretty much."
Wow. Yep.
I was like, brother, no, not right now. But
Man.
I'll never
Wow.
forget that because it was so fucking funny. And I remember I just looked at Emily and I went, oh my God.
I think I remember quite the obnoxious laugh in my Barbie viewing. I'm pretty sure. Like, I mean, they laughed at the right moments, in the right times, but it was just
Yeah, right. But they had
very
an obnoxious
overly
laugh.
loud. Yeah, and like kind of it seemed a little on purpose, but I don't know. They were having a good time, So eventually everyone
Little
just kind of let
performative,
loose
maybe?
and like laughed. Kind of a little at them, but with them, I don't know. It was kind of, I don't know. It was everyone was just having a better time eventually near the end because of it. But yeah,
Right.
I don't know.
It's also a gorgeous movie, by the way. It looks great. They really dominated that plastic fake world thing that they had going on in Barbie Land, and it extended into the real world a little bit. I love the weird middle realm that they go with Barbara Handler's ghosts. That's cool.
Yeah. Needed just
her
ghost
ghost
of the
keeps an
Mattel.
office on the 37th floor.
Yeah, more of just Barbie World and them. I don't know. The Mattel stuff I feel was whatever. It needed to. They had to have, I guess, the antagonist or that force kind of coming in, whatever.
Yeah,
but
it's what it is. But yeah, no, I'm with you. I think that there's a lot to love about the movie, and those things. Whenever What Was I Made For by Billie Eilish starts playing,
ooh,
man, I'm gonna be a puddle, man. Like
Ooh.
it's just gonna happen, and that's the power of, no matter how much I love or don't love the movie at any given point, whenever a moment like that kicks in and you're showing me these beautiful images of real people enjoying, real women enjoying their lives and having a joy while this song plays, and Margot Robbie starts to tear up and she comes to life, and like it's just really good, and that's one of my favorite. I will say, if we were ranking like moments, that moment would probably be pretty high.
Oh yeah,
that's an interesting thought. I hadn't even considered like my favorite
movie moment, like moments,
feelings. The things that spark the most interesting feeling in me. I would definitely be up there. I have trouble telling you. I mean, I have a couple, but like it'd probably be top 10. Not down at 85. I'll tell you that.
That's true.
But yeah, 85 for Barbie. I and every time I talk about it, every time I revisit it, I end up feeling like I like it more than I think I do. You know what I'm saying? And then when I think privately, I think I like it less than when I talk about it. It's a weird dichotomy. But yeah, Barbie's good, man. I like me some Barbie. Okay. 85.
Yeah, we'll get back around to it eventually. It's definitely better than these movies I'm listing off here. So it'll be in a little bit. But time to go from the most pink and girl kind of friendly movie to just black and war and medieval sword fights. This is The Last Duel with Mark Wahlberg and Adam Driver being the two
Matt
here
Damon.
With. Oh yes, who did I say? Mark Wahlberg. I always get them confused. Ever since I've been a kid.
Sebastian.
They always flip flop. for me. Thank you. Yeah, Matt Damon and Adam Driver. Oh, Ben Affleck's in
Like,
there
don't
too.
you ever do that to Matt Damon again.
That's true. That is actually really,
yeah.
really bad. Like to Mark Wahlberg, that is a compliment.
That's a
That is,
compliment
like,
to Mark Wahlberg and a fucking diss to Matt Damon.
Yes, and not at all confusing them as their acting chops, just off physical appearance as a kid. I don't know. I was just terrible with names.
I get where you're coming from.
But yeah, this one, I mean, it was. I think it even had Nikolaj Coster-Waldau. I think was he in there? Was Jamie? I don't know why. I had just a sudden. I don't think so.
I don't think he was, but Jodie Comer's in it, and she's fucking awesome.
Yeah, the girl they're fighting over. I mean, yeah, it's always about a girl usually. These medieval things that seem like it's just dudes going at it. Nah, it's the deeper reason is for the woman. But I think
for the lady.
Yeah, in this, I feel like it would be one that if I revisited, I would like a whole lot more. I think at the time that I watched it, I was just, still in the comic book vein and kind of getting into. I think this was watched just kind of in the living room with my family. I think if I'm thinking right,
I do think you would like this one more, and I doubt this happens again. The odds of you having one in the bottom 50 that I have above you.
Wow.
Are very rare.
That's crazy.
That's not going to happen a lot. When we get to the top of the list, that's probably going to happen a little bit more. Like you like things a little bit more than I do, and I like things a little more. But like down here, you've got something at 84 or
that's
whatever.
Crazy.
That I have higher than that, which is that's why I'm like, I think you will like it more the next time you watch it. Because I got around to it ahead of Napoleon last year, which is not on my list, but The Last Duel is.
Okay. Yeah. I like that. Yeah, I mean, because I can even say that even the movies that I'm about to say in the rest of this episode and some movies above it, I think it's made better. Like, I think I remember it looking pretty. Like, I don't know, just that it did.
It's a good fucking movie, man.
Well made.
It's got a little bit of that Rashomon thing going on too, where it's different, like the same story told from different perspectives, and your perspective determines your reality. That sort of vibe.
Right.
I think that's a.
Okay.
It's a cool fucking movie, man. I think I think that you'll come away from a rewatch going like, "Damn, yeah, that's not 84."
Wow. Yeah, definitely not. Yeah, looking at what comes above. I don't know. It's very easy for things to slide up.
100%. That's how I am too. Like I got some stuff where I'm like, is that right? Is that there? I'm like, fuck it, man. Yeah, sure it is.
Yeah, it came from somewhere. The feeling came from somewhere. I don't know, and it had to stick.
Yes, it did. I had to have thought that at some point, and I still think it. I'm going to stick with it. My 84 is one of the funniest movies I've ever seen in a movie theater. It's called Joyride. Joyride, directed by Adele Lim. This movie is fucking hysterical. It was like the first raunchy comedy I've seen in theaters, and I don't know how long. It reminds me of like the early 2000s sort of vein of comedy, while modernizing it and also being inclusive. It used to be like that was just a bunch of white dudes that got together and talked shit was typically what that was. But this is fucking hysterical, man. Stephanie Hsu is absolutely incredible in it. She's always going to be one of my favorites in anything she's in. Obviously, we love her in Everything Everywhere All at Once as Jobu Tupaki. But she's incredible here. And it has a surprising heart to it. Like it kind of hits you out of nowhere. You're like, oh, wow, I didn't know that this was going to make me feel like that. And it's strong, man. Sherry Cola is fucking incredible as Lolo, and Ashley Park is great as Audrey, and there's some great stuff going on in this movie, and it's well worth your time. It's a tight 90 minutes. It's so fucking funny. Sex positive, drugs positive. It's hysterical.
Nice.
And I love it. So Joyride.
Sounds like a good time. Sounds like quite the joyride, if I
it is indeed
dare so say myself. But okay, yeah, I don't know, even good old Ashley Park. I don't know is that? Oh no, never mind. Is that who am I? Oh wow, that I could have sworn. I saw the poster and I thought that, oh my god, what's her name?
Brenda Song.
Yes, I don't know. Just the poster looked exactly like her, and then I
I
scroll
see what
down.
you're saying. I
I
see what
see
you're
Ashley
saying
Parker,
for
and I'm like,
sure.
that's not Brenda Song. And I'm like, yeah. So I'm like, that
Nope.
name doesn't seem right as I'm saying it, but
You
okay.
know, Brenda Song has a kid with Macaulay Culkin.
Macaulay Culkin.
Kevin McAllister from Home Alone.
What?
Yeah, they have a kid together. They're like married and shit.
Whoa, that is a weird that that broke my brain a little bit. I had to, that was like a weird that I don't
You
know.
also only know them from like very different times in their life. Like Macaulay Culkin
Yep.
is eternally 10 years old to me.
Yeah.
And obviously that's not the case, but like it's funny to think about like London Tipton
Yes.
and Kevin McAllister are like married with a kid.
It was the exact thought running through my head. It's just how I know, how I know both of them. But yeah, she's
That's
not
so
even.
funny.
I don't. Yeah, sorry, Brenda Song, to bring you up out of nowhere. I kind of like that idea, but man, okay. Joyride though. Okay, wow. No,
So funny. So
Okay.
funny.
Yeah. This is 83 here. Kind of I think straight to Netflix again here. And this one is 2021's Don't Look Up with Leo and Jennifer Lawrence, Meryl Streep, Kate Blanchett. Wow. Oh yeah. She was the president.
Insane
Or
cast.
Meryl Streep was the president. Yeah.
Insane cast.
Mhm.
Like absurd. Yeah.
Wow. And I think, was this the movie where who did Leo eventually end up like? Was it just Jennifer Lawrence, or did he had
Jennifer
like
Lawrence.
I feel like he had a love interest, and people were like, "Oh wow, finally someone above the age of 18 for Leo to have to-" Or no, maybe there was a different movie where he kissed someone
It was Wolf
on
of
like
Wall
a
Street.
bench. Was it Wolf of Wall Street having to
Yeah, it's Margot Robbie's like aunt, like great
Oh, okay.
aunt.
Wow. Yeah, I
in
guess
that
I was
movie.
I was
Yeah.
throwing two movie or just kind of movies together there a little bit,
Yeah.
but no, this one I think it just kind of a cool, as a space nerd, I don't know. They were just in an observatory, just looking up and gathering data, and they're like, "Oh, we this ain't good." And then I don't know, it was kind of more funny
gonna
than
die.
I thought it was gonna be. And yeah, I don't know. I thought it was just the concept of it was cool.
Got
as
a little
well.
Kid Cudi in there. Kid
That's
Cudi and
right.
Ariana Grande are in that movie.
Yes. Oh my, he's like a sassy like diva. I'm I think he's like, yeah, like he like is knocking on the door, or he like demands that his assistant knocks on the door or something like that. And I don't know.
I think you're mixing that up with Trap.
No way. That is Trap. Oh my, I'm mixing three movies into one here. Wow. Yeah. The memories. I can't
remember. Well, that's the thing about Don't Look Up, is that like I just know that Kid Cudi's in it. I couldn't tell you one fucking bit what he does in it.
I think
remember
it's just the song. Ariana and Cudi, they have a song together.
Like Just Look Up or something like that.
Yeah, and
turn off the shitbox news.
But no, I was definitely thinking of Trap for sure. That was the scene I was thinking of, which will come later.
He wants Josh Hartnett bad in Trap. It's funny. I love that.
That's true.
But,
that is true.
Yeah, no, Don't Look Up. I mean, Timothy Chalamet has a small role in that. There's a bunch of like little. Shit. They got everybody. They called everybody in for that one. That was a big draw, and specifically at that time, it was, post COVID or amidst the pandemic, but after the shutdown and all that stuff, the lockdown. It was definitely a poignant time for that movie to be released, about believing in science and all that good stuff. But Don't Look Up, man. It's an entertaining one.
Yeah, not much, I guess, else to say about it. I guess I just kind of remember very vague, just vague stuff about it. Kind of. It's been a while, that's for sure. But yeah, kind of chilling at 83 there for me.
Love it. I love it. My 83 also has Ariana Grande in it.
Okay.
This is where Wicked falls. Directed by John Chu, who also did Crazy Rich Asians. It's I really, really enjoyed this, man. I thought that I had really, really mixed feelings going into it. I didn't know what to expect. I didn't know what I wanted from it. I watched the trailer and I thought it looked a little bland for what you want from Oz. If your predecessor is from 1939 and you can't match its color palette, like, what are we doing?
Yeah.
And it doesn't, you know, like the movie should look a lot better. If there's anything that I do not like about the movie, it's that it does not look as good as it should.
Okay.
But that might be it. You know, like that. And whenever that's the case, I kind of got to weigh my options here. And I do like it a lot. It's kind of funny. If I don't like anything about a movie, but it looks really good, or I like everything about a movie, but it doesn't look good at all, those have a very similar effect on me, which is super fun. It just kind of weighs how important a movie looking good is to me. But yeah, it's really good, man. Cynthia Erivo is incredible. She can fucking belt, dude. I don't know how she can sing like that, and she's a really, really brilliant performer. Ariana Grande surprised the hell out of me. I forgot that she was that good at acting. Like she has a really, really keen comedic sensibility. She's got brilliant timing. She is made for the screen. I really wish that she would have kept acting a little bit more than she did make music, because she's got some good ass songs. Don't get me wrong, but I found her music, I could either take it or leave it, and I've loved a lot of the stuff that she's acted in, you know. I forgot that when she was on Victorious when we were younger, she was like actually good in that, you know, like she was actually really fucking funny in that.
That was the reason I was watching Victorious, pretty much.
No shit.
I mean, yeah, that's I don't
her
know.
And Elizabeth Gillies.
Had the crush. I don't know. The red hair did it too at the time. That was kind of big.
Did it. That always did the thing.
But
yeah, and so like she surprised the hell out of me. She can obviously sing. There was no question about that. It's just that when you have two people as talented as them leading a movie, and then you also have Jeff Goldblum and Michelle Yeoh, and you add a few people to the cast that I really, really love like that, and you got Jonathan Bailey playing a fun role, Peter Dinklage voicing a character. You know, it's just gonna go well. It's just gonna go well, and I enjoy this movie a great deal, so I have it at 83.
Yeah, big blind spot for me. Almost pulled the trigger and went to the theater, but didn't quite get to it before this. But definitely, I don't know, on the list, and I heard there's even at the end, like I don't know, maybe this is spoilers, I guess, sorry. But like hints for a part 2 or like another movie coming after. There could be.
Well, and the thing is that like it's not like really a spoiler, because there's a sequel to the Wicked Broadway play. So like it's like
okay.
Like there's a more to this story than what they show, and it's adapted from a book, which I read that book, and that's the thing, is that if you're never going to engage with anything Wicked except for one thing, it should be the book, man. The book is so fucking good. I loved the book. It's the stage and screen productions are just really sanitized, and the book's not a musical, obviously. Like those are adapted into musicals. You can't do a musical book, that doesn't make sense. So like it's just a really compelling narrative. It elevates the movies elevate Galinda, Ariana Grande's character, but they kind of sanitize Cynthia Erivo's Wicked Witch, where like you're kind of like watching the movie like, how does this woman become the Wicked Witch of the West? You know what I'm saying? The book, you're like, oh, that woman becomes the Wicked Witch of the West. You know, like that's that tracks. She wants to kill a small redheaded child, you know?
Yeah. I guess got to get there at some point. I don't know.
And I guess maybe part two will do a little bit of that for us. But yeah, got Wicked at 83.
Okay. All right. Moving on to 82 here. I got our boy Keanu in The Matrix Resurrections here. The fourth installment of the Matrix series, and it is a Matrix movie. That's for sure. I think I prefer the first three. But I don't know. I'm not going to turn a Matrix movie down ever in my life. And here, I don't know. It definitely just paying homage to Keanu and Carrie-Anne Moss here was nice. And I'm trying to remember, was Lawrence Fishburne in there?
Lawrence Fishburne was not in the movie. No.
Okay, dang.
We actually brought the gentleman who plays him up a couple times with Yahya Abdul Mateen, as he was Black Manta in Aquaman,
Ah,
and he was he came up in another. We talked about him a couple times. I can't remember what the other thing was, but yeah, Yahya
Aquaman,
Abdul Mateen. Yeah,
Us,
well, Aquaman too.
Candyman.
He's
Let's
Black
see.
Manta.
Yeah. I'm not seeing. Let's see. Candyman, Us.
Candyman.
Oh, it was
We
okay.
talked briefly about
Mm-hmm.
Candyman because of Nia DaCosta directing the Marvels. That's what it was.
Mm-hmm.
Um,
Okay,
I
yeah,
was like,
but
I don't think it was in a movie. That's why it was going to be difficult to find. Is I was like, I don't think it's a movie that we have expressly said. It was one of the
mm-hmm.
tangentially related movies that we also mentioned, and yeah, I'm glad we found it that quick though. But yeah, that was it.
Okay. Yeah, but good old, I don't know, just a not everyone's kind of movie. I think you kind of have to be a Matrix fan to kind of be into this one in the first place. And if it was your first Matrix movie, then I don't know, maybe it turned some people away from,
Top
probably
two Matrix.
mm,
Top two.
really.
Top two. Second behind the Matrix. Yeah.
Okay. I mean,
Gorgeous fucking movie. It's one that I need to rewatch desperately. It's not in
mhm.
my top 100. If I had rewatched it, it certainly would be. I have very little doubt about that. But the first time I watched it, I was underwhelmed. And it's one of those movies that every time I think about it, I remember it just extraordinarily fondly, even though I
Hmm.
didn't love it when I watched it. So I think I would appreciate it a lot more. It's a good looking movie. It's one of those movies that I regard as like a pinnacle of what we're capable of doing with digital filmmaking. You
Mm.
know,
Mhm.
it's really really impressive. And Keanu's great. Carrie Ann Moss is great. I love Jessica Hennick, who is sort of the new face. I'm a
Mm.
big fan of Jonathan Groff, who plays the new Agent Smith. So like, it has all the bones. I think that if I revisited it, I'd be very happy.
Yeah. Yeah, I think and again it probably I think have watched it the one time and haven't revisited it since. So it has been a while. And it was just kind of it at least made it here right now. And yeah, probably definitely could only go up here off a rewatch. I'm not ever going to be not in a Matrix mood. And I think I don't know,
Right,
top
right.
2 it's not that crazy. Like it the other
No,
two
the only
Matrix movies. Yeah.
Reloaded would be its competition. You know, people are kind of
Mhm.
unanimously like Revolutions is the bottom of the
Yeah,
barrel, if
that's
not
true.
Resurrections. You know, like people tend to look at those two as
Mhm.
less than.
Yeah.
And frankly, I haven't seen the sequels nearly enough to be able to tell you one way or the other. I think I've only watched Reloaded. I think I've only watched all of them guaranteed once.
Mhm.
Maybe I've watched Reloaded twice.
Yeah, that is. I mean, you can watch Resurrections on its own, but you can't really just go into Reloaded. You'd probably watch The
mhm.
Matrix first, and then if you're watching
Well,
Revolutions,
because
you're
like, why would you do that? Like, why would you just
Mhm.
watch Reloaded? You know,
Yeah.
like the one of the greatest science fiction movies of all time comes right before it. You know,
Mhm.
why not just do that?
Yeah.
And then I watched The Matrix, and I'm like, you know what? I don't need any more. I think I'm
Mhm.
okay.
That's
And then I
it.
just don't end up watching all the other ones. Um,
Mhm. Yeah, it
but
is.
yeah,
So
no.
yeah, maybe it being 2. That's not. I thought it was kind of crazy at first, like for me, my own list, but like maybe actually.
And that's the other thing too, is that like I haven't watched any of those three
Mhm.
sequels in a quite some time. So I
Yeah.
definitely need to revisit before I can tell you that for sure. But that's where my gut takes me right now.
Okay.
But love it. My 82 is a bit different than Matrix Resurrections and a bit different from any movie in the
Okay.
modern age, I would say. It's called Hundreds of Beavers, directed by Mike Cheslick. It's playing on a certain aesthetic established by, silent films and, sort of quirky Looney Tunes like animation stuff, but it's all puppetry and miniatures and that sort of
Whoa.
stuff. Incredibly creative. Like one of those things where you're watching the movie and you're like, how the fuck did they do that? It's extremely innovative, extremely creative. It's one of those things that just tickles the funny bone in that regard. Like, I don't actually adore the story a ton, like I'm not like, holy shit, this movie's brilliant. It made me cry. No, not like, all it did was make me go, oh, that's awesome. Just kind of continuously like, whoa, that's cool. How'd they do that? It's just really, really impressive that they managed something like this is kind of the way that I look at it. So, it's I don't even have that much to say. It's a silent film, you know, like they don't speak any dialogue. It's just gestures and actions, and
Wow.
it's hot. It's so funny too. It's extremely funny, and it's one that I want to take another look at some point. But yeah, Hundreds of Beavers, definitely worth your time.
Loved on Letterboxd. I mean, everyone who's seen it has loved it. It seems it's just very high. It just keeps going up. No bell curve. No like meeting in the middle. It is just the more you go up, usually the higher number you get. I don't know. It's I don't know. It seems. But I was just looking at all the different images like in posters for the movie and like or the backdrops, and oh my god, yeah, it looks funky. It looks like it would be.
It's a weird one. It's a weird one.
Mhm.
Yeah, like I can promise you with my entire heart, you've never watched a movie like it.
Yeah,
And that's not something you can say for every movie. So I got to put some respect on it for that.
Okay.
I've got it at 82.
All right. Well, capping off my list here with the last two, I kind of have two sports movies. I didn't do this on purpose. It just kind of worked out this way. But the first of the two will be tennis. Don't worry, it's not Challengers. That'll be a lot later. But
Oh.
it is King Richard from 2021.
Oh, that's
Yeah,
right. I never watched this.
Kind of Serena and Venus Williams. You know their story, kind of growing up.
Their origin story.
And just a dad who maybe pushed a little too hard, at some points, but then at least the end of the movie is kind of like I feel like it was at some points they didn't like how much they pushed, but then saw that where they were and what they were doing and how thankful they were for how they were pushed, and it was kind of this back and forth of kind of taking advantage of your kids and like kind of putting all eggs in certain baskets and stuff like that. It was kind of cool back and forth through there, and yeah, I don't know, just kind of a nice family movie as well. I think that this was watched in the living room with everyone,
Yeah.
and the family really enjoyed it. Yeah, it was I don't know, the parents really liked
Feels
it.
like one of those. Feels like one of those, and it makes sense that Will Smith would play the man who taught Serena and Venus how to play tennis because he's got a hell of a forehand.
Oh, I was wondering where that was going. Oh no, that
Yeah.
yes, and we've all seen
broken
it.
swing.
Yeah.
We all saw it. Won the Oscar for Best Actor that night, which is just an even better detail. Just an incredible night. So
Wow.
fucking funny the way people treated that. It is so like, yeah, you're not supposed to smack people, and you're not supposed to smack people on live television, but people acted like he committed some sort of fucking act of terrorism, and it blew my goddamn mind. Judd
Yeah.
Apatow was like, he could have killed him. Shut the fuck up, Judd.
Yeah, what the?
No, he couldn't
yeah,
have.
What
He
are we
slapped him.
talking about? Yeah, I don't know. Kind of a crazy Kid Cudi connection here, back from Don't Look Up and eventually Trap. But he like predicted. Well, he didn't predict it, but there's in one of his songs with Kendrick Lamar, actually, Solo Dolo Part 2. He just you pussy motherfuckers will get the Will Smith smack is one of the lines. And I don't know, back in 2013, the Will Smith smack. I don't know
Love that.
where
Love
that came from, or like what does that refer to before that moment, like did he
I don't know.
I don't think he was known for slapping people or
Maybe
or
it's a
whatever, but-
Hancock reference.
Oh,
Did he
okay.
smack a motherfucker in
Yeah,
Hancock?
2013. Is that sounds about, is that Hancock era?
Hancock would have been a
Um,
couple years before that.
2008. Okay. Yeah.
Yeah.
The smack.
Could be
yeah,
something like that.
I'll smack you so hard. You call me asshole one more time. I think that's what it was. Like, I'll smack you like I'll just smack you into the sky or some shit like that. So yeah.
He says like, I'll shove your head up your own ass.
That's
Yeah, he
right.
literally
That's actually
does.
it. Yeah.
Um,
Okay. Ooh. Yeah.
Yeah, no, it's
That's a way to
brutal
go.
imagery. But
Yeah.
yeah, no, I love that. I love that. Rob, respect for Will Smith indefinitely.
Mhm.
Robbed my man Andrew Garfield. Just
Mm.
fucking highway robbery. His portrayal of Jonathan Larson in Tick Tick Boom was an
Yeah.
Oscar-winning
Oh.
performance.
Oh my
I do
God.
not give a fuck. I haven't seen King Richard, and I'm confident this is the case.
It was not
Um,
even close. Yeah, not even remotely close. Yeah, I'll glaze Andrew
Yeah.
Garfield with Tick Tick Boom a lot.
Glaze him.
Yeah, I have to.
Yeah, no,
we'll
he's
get there.
he's incredible. He's incredible. Yeah, we will get there. It'll be some time, be a couple weeks. But
Yes.
my 81 is also a 2021 film. I believe it also got a couple Oscar nods as the lead in this got nominated for Best Actress in a Leading Role. Kristen Stewart in Spencer, directed by Pablo Larraín. It's about Princess Diana. It's the one where she played Princess Diana, and I've only watched this once, but it stuck with me really, really meaningfully. I think that Kristen Stewart is an unbelievable talent. Just one of those people. Her and Robert Pattinson being able to ascend beyond everybody's expectations after Twilight has been just a great joy as somebody who grew up quite enjoying Twilight. So like it's one of those things where I always wanted them to succeed, and now they are succeeding on a level that I really, really appreciate. You know, obviously Pattinson's got Batman under his belt, which is going to be financially lucrative forever.
Oh yeah.
But they're both receiving a ton of acclaim for just really, really interesting roles, and I think that that's cool. They don't play it safe. You know, they take the interesting roles, and I think that Kristen Stewart being Princess Diana, it's one of her more interesting parts she's ever gotten to play. So I appreciate Spencer a great deal. And Pablo Larraín is a really talented director with a keen visual sensibility. So I need to revisit this because I watched one of his newest film, which I will get to later, Maria, starring Angelina Jolie, and I loved it. So it made me want to revisit Spencer real bad. So Spencer at 81.
Okay. Yeah, I don't know, the story of Princess Diana, I'm not too in the know about, I guess. But at least it makes...
They got her.
Yeah, it seems... I can't take credit for this. This is a review from someone on Letterboxd, but it says that Kristen Stewart is again accepted into a family of blood-sucking demons, but this time with somehow even worse consequences. And so, I mean, yeah, I think at least
that's great. That's
great. Is it just known that they kind of had her killed, or is it like still up in the air? Or
That's
like,
it's not confirmed, and it's you know it's like JFK, you know.
Okay.
It's like you know, there's a pretty solid explanation, but there's always going to be like the you know, no matter what, there's going to be that. Well,
something's a bit off there. Yeah, something I don't know doesn't seem right. But yeah, okay, I don't know. It's on it's crazy how much she looks like Princess Diana, at least in this one shot, looking out the window.
Uncanny.
So, okay. Well, going actually Matt Damon. I'll get it right this time. Matt Damon and Ben Affleck together in the last sports movie, or I'll top it off here with Air from 2023. The good old Michael Jordan, you know, or more, not really Michael Jordan movie, just kind of the Nike movie is kind of what more it turned into be. But you know, all about securing Jordan and the deal they made, and I don't know, Ben Affleck, Matt Damon. It'll be a duo I'll never get tired of seeing them just kind of working together, forever until eventually, I don't know,
until death do them part.
Yeah, I mean, it's just kind of weird to think that like the De Niro and Al Pacino kind of like, you know, they're getting like kind of older now, and it's weird to see them kind of like as like older men, but like eventually like the Matt Damons and the Ben Afflecks of like, I don't know, the people we grew up with will it's just weird.
We're only like 30 years away from them being that age, and like that's wild. That's wild.
I don't know. Hopefully they stay in the biz for that longer. I don't know. Maybe
they will.
Yeah, feels like it's their calling, and they do.
It's a lifelong commitment for them at this point. But
but I don't know. I love
that. Speaking of actors who play themselves or play the same guy in every role, essentially, Jason Bateman is a great addition to this cast. He's a great addition to any cast because you know exactly what you're going to be getting from him. And it's always good. He manages to fit the tone, whether it's ominous, like in Carry On, or hilarious, like in Horrible Bosses, or kind of just an everyman like he is in Air. You know, like he does a great job at being whatever a director needs him to be. So I do appreciate I appreciate him in that movie a great deal. And Viola Davis, she's incredible.
Making the true deal. That's who made the real deal there. You know, I'll take some royalty or whatever the little every shoe sold. We're taking a little bit of that, and that's I don't know. I don't know if that's exactly how it went down, you know, in the movie or whatever. But I think it felt like they kept it pretty close to reality. Obviously, some things were dramatized for the movie.
Yeah,
but,
like Michael Jordan has a face, for example. They
yes,
definitely,
he does
you know,
exist actually in real life. But
yeah.
yeah, not only the back of his head, pretty much, or a
I
handshake.
think that's a cool choice, though. You know,
Mm.
like I do think that is a cool choice to like. I think it further emphasizes the like mystique of this, because like he was a god. You know, like he was a god walking amongst men in the 90s. You know, like he was a different fucking level. So whenever it comes to introducing this movie to like a modern audience, it maintains that sort of mystique about that guy that we don't really understand. So I do love that. I do love that. I do love that choice. But Air at 80. Okay, I dig it. I dig it. That's a good way to top off the episode. I'm going with the 2023 one as well. This is where I have Are You There, God? It's Me, Margaret, written and directed by Kelly Fremon Craig. This was just a sweet fucking movie, dude. I actually watched it last year on Christmas Eve going into Christmas, and it was like weirdly fitting. It's not necessarily, it's not a Christmas movie by any stretch, but like it's got those warm feelings and those religious themes and stuff. It feels akin to a Christmas film.
Okay.
And it's so sweet, man. Rachel McAdams is incredible. I love her in everything. She can do anything, and I'm a fan. About Time, Wedding Crashers, Doctor Strange, this. She's incredible. I love Rachel McAdams. And, this also has one of the Safdie brothers, Benny Safdie, who you'll recognize most recently from Oppenheimer. Until they build a bigger bomb.
Yes. Good old H-bomb.
He's real done up.
Yes,
indeed. We got Kathy Bates is in it. It's led by Abby Ryder Fortson, who is also in Ant-Man. She plays the young Cassie Lang before Catherine Newton takes over that role. And she's a great actress, man. She's funny. She's got a bright future. And yeah, I love this movie. I need to revisit it, but I've always felt very positively about Are You There, God? It's Me, Margaret.
Yeah, and it seems the reviews are feeling that way too. Another kind of, I don't know, shit ton of 4. I mean, it's like it peaks, but people who
a 4, really a 4-star movie when you just see 4. That's a good movie. That's a good film.
Yeah. But okay, yeah, been on the watch list for a while. I guess never a blind spot, never got around to it. But yeah, I feel like every movie you kind of say, it definitely would have been on my list if I do watch it. Like it would not be hard to kick out these ones down here. But yeah, I don't know. Start next episode. We'll get I guess a little more comic booky still, but they're the ones that I actually like.
They're the ones you like. Yeah. That does make things tough.
So,
that does make things tough.
Yeah.
But yeah, all right, let's go ahead and rattle this thing off. Before we go ahead and do the little recap, I'm going to do the giveaway plug again. Everybody, if you are on Blue Sky, you have the opportunity to enter the Cinementalists giveaway. What we are giving away is a Blu-ray Criterion Collection edition of Paris is Burning and another of the same Criterion Collection of Certain Women. We brought up Kristen Stewart earlier. She's in Certain Women. That also has Lily Gladstone and Laura Dern and Michelle Williams. It's an incredible cast. You need to watch Certain Women, and what better way than on a free Criterion Blu-ray? And that's the way you get it is going to Blue Sky. I got a little post up with all the details, but I'll explain to you here. You need to subscribe to the Cinementalists on YouTube. We just have our audio versions over there, but we're trying to pump those numbers up. Those are rookie numbers. Got to pump those up. It's a woozy, it's a wazzy, it's, all that good stuff. You got to go ahead and check it out on YouTube, The Cinementalists. You have to subscribe. That is one of the 2 requirements to enter the giveaway. The other is that you must download an episode of the podcast on another platform, Apple, Spotify, Audible. If you don't have any of those, hit me up. I am capable of sending you a direct to MP3 download link. So you are capable of entering even if you don't have those. And the best way to contact me, I do still have Twitter. You can hit me up on Twitter if you want, and you can hit us up on Twitter at the Cinementalists. But the best way is Blue Sky. Blue Sky is the kind of goal here. We want to that platform is constantly growing. There's a lot of great community over there, and I feel like I've already entered a little bit I've already had a better community there than I ever did on Twitter. I've already got more followers there than I ever did on Twitter, which is crazy because I've only been over there a couple months. So definitely something that if you are not on Blue Sky and you're looking for social media, you're getting kind of tired of Twitter, go ahead and get over there. It's worth your time. And that way you get to enter this competition. And there's a couple things you can do, a couple caveats, earn a couple extra entries on the ballot, get your name in there a few more times. If you go to Blue Sky, you can like and repost the graphic of the giveaway post. That will get you an extra entry. You can respond to it by tagging somebody. That'll get you an extra entry. And then you have the possibility of getting over 30 additional entries if you download as many episodes of The Cinementalists as you can. You download 5 episodes, you get 5 entries. That's how it's going to work. If you download 10, you get 10 entries. But I got to see the proof. That's why Blue Sky is the optimal place to be. That's where you're going to hit me up. If you need to hit me up in other means, you can hit me up on Twitter. You can contact the pod somehow. You'll find a way. We'll figure it out. If you want those Blu-rays bad enough, if you want that Letterboxd patron membership bad enough, you will enter. And that's a $50 year-long membership on Letterboxd. That's it's nothing to scoff at. It's a great deal of fun. I have the patron membership. Joe has the patron membership. Oh. And once you have it, hard to go back to the normal shit.
Yep.
Hard to go back to the normal shit. So if you like Letterboxd, you got to be on there. If you like movies, Paris is Burning and Certain Women on Blu-ray. If you do all those things, if you earn all the extra entries to the giveaway, you could walk away with all 3 of those things. Just because I pull your name out of the hat once doesn't mean I'm not going to pull it out again. There's going to be 3 winners. They could all 3 be you. So let's go ahead and enter that contest. So at Colton Robertson on Blue Sky, go ahead and look into it. You ought to be there. But let's do this thing. Rattle them off from me, 80 to 89.
All right. Starting with 80, I had Air. 81, King Richard. 82, The Matrix Resurrections. 83, Don't Look Up. 84, The Last Duel. 85, Leave the World Behind. 86, Megan. 87, Fantastic Beasts, The Secret of Dumbledore. 88, The Adam Project. And 89, Black Adam. Oh,
lovely.
And I thought I was about to say 90, but nope, we already did that one. Sorry about that.
We already did that. We did that earlier. At 80, I had Are You There, God? It's Me, Margaret. 81, Spencer. 82, Hundreds of Beavers. 83, Wicked. 84, Joyride. 85, Barbie. 86, After Yang. 87, Gaza Mon Amour. 88, Kill. And 89, Elvis. So we got a great plethora of movies there, and we will have 2 more parts of our top 100 available next Wednesday here on The Cinementalists. It'll be the only time we're doing Wednesday, and that's because next Friday is my birthday. I'm so very, very excited. Next Friday I turn 25, and we are celebrating by discussing Willow, the Ron Howard directed film from 1988, Lucasfilm produced. Great movie. I love it dearly. Had to celebrate my birthday properly with a viewing of Willow. That's available next Friday. And the next 2 parts, the 70s and 60s, will be available next Wednesday. And we'll be doing 2 parts every Friday there on out. The 50s and 40s, 30s and 20s, teens, and top 10. So we got a lot to look forward to. You need to be here. And we're having a great time doing it. Keep coming back week after week. Subscribe wherever you're listening. Leave a 5-star rate and review and download. We would appreciate it greatly. With that, I was Colton Robertson. I was joined by Joseph George. Thank you very much, homie.
Oh, thank you for having me. It's always a pleasure to be here.
Oh, and it's always a pleasure to have you. And in the meantime, everybody go ahead and cross a few of your watch list off. Watch a few 2020s movies. Come on back and see if we've got them in the next coming weeks. So let's do this shit. Thank you for being here. Bye-bye.